Today I'm gonna show you how Drew went from this
She dropped the D word on me twice when we were arguing.
and how it felt
Like, you know, your significant other drops that it's almost like a dagger to the throat. It's like, I can't top that, you know, and
to just 6 weeks later, that.
your guy can tell you like we're connecting, like it's really good sex, you know what I mean? It's not just like a chore, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm starting to like establish a little bit more confidence.
He was able to do all of that by tackling one core issue. And when you first identify this core issue, and then number two, you fix it, you are able to completely be unfazed by anything your wife says and know exactly what to say in every situation and conversation to ease the tension and to get her to soften up and open up to you again. Now, before I show you the solution, you have to first see if Drew's wife and his situation is similar to yours. Let's start off by seeing how his wife actually is, and you're gonna laugh when you hear this.
We're both alphas, right? So we both have very strong personalities. We're both very opinionated. We both have trauma in our past, you know, like, you know, I'm a war veteran. She had, you know, some abusive parents and stuff, but she's a very successful salon business owner. Like she's very good. She's very intelligent. And it's almost like she doesn't need me.
The most common thread that I see over and over again is that wives in the program tend to be stubborn, confident, independent, and they sometimes have a history of past trauma. I bet you she meets at least 3 out of 4 of those, right? Now, I'm sure a large part of you actually likes that she's independent and confident. The trait of confidence is equally attractive to men and women both, and you love that about her, that she doesn't need you. But because she's always leaned into this masculine leadership role by default because of her trauma, it's caused you, by comparison, over the years to become complacent. You adopted the belief that, well, she just wants to lead. It's just who she is. But it's not. It's a defense mechanism that she feels like she has to do because you haven't stepped up. That's the most common scenario about why wives start to pull away, is because of your complacency, she lost respect and attraction. But some men are like Drew's case.
It's like we try to one up each other, and then sometimes Sergeant Smith comes out, you know what I mean?
If you're also that alpha hypermasculine, or, you know, Sergeant Smith, because of the military that he became, when she would get defensive, so would he. And it was just constant bickering and fighting. And this fire just burned their whole house down. Metaphorically, not literally. Now, whether you lost respect, attraction, or she doesn't feel safe with you because you guys fight all the time, it doesn't matter. The first step in getting her back is identifying the core level issue with her. When it comes to identifying the core issue, if your wife doesn't feel like you understand why she feels the way she does, then she will never give you a chance to save the marriage in the first place. This is why when you started doing those chores, the dates, trying to win back her heart by coming home early from work, it only pushed her further away, thinking that you're manipulative. She thought you were just panicking, just trying to win her back without her realizing why you hurt her in the first place. However, when you accurately reflect these issues back to her, this can happen right here.
I wrote my first CLC, and like Jessica thought that's my wife, and Jess, she thought it was like life-changing for her to see like how I was able to put those things on paper and like recognize like it was just everything that I was doing wrong, you know, and I put it into words that she could understand. And yeah, it was just, yeah. So the CLC was really helpful. So
writing the CLC reports is one of the first steps we take with men to highlight this insight to your wife. Now, this doesn't fully save the marriage yet, but it does get her to stop pulling away and give you a chance to breathe, to work on things with her again. So what was the core issue with Drew? Now, Drew's core issue is the source of all your issues in your marriage too. I mean, literally every man I work with, I talk to long enough, it always comes back to this one thing. Going to the source of this issue and healing it will literally autocorrect every problem you have with her moving forward. Imagine, for example, there's this leak in your relationship house, and water keeps seeping down on the both of you, no matter where you go in the home. You're both arguing with each other. She doesn't feel safe. You're saying she caused the leak, she's blaming it on you. And then finally, when she wants to move out of the house, you grab some duct tape to seal it up. However, she gets more angry at you because she knows that duct tape is only a temporary solution to the real problem, and it hasn't been fixed. You putting tape over that ceiling, over that leak, is you coming home early from work, trying to buy her the flowers. And for Drew, it was this.
Instead of just using logic and like all these things you've told us, it's like you're doing it all wrong.
You might as well call that duct tape logic tape. That should be sponsored. Instead of putting tape over it, you have to go to the source of the leak and fix things there. Now, I want you to pause the video after you hear this question I asked Drew.
She was here right now, and I would ask Jess, like, what was one thing that led her to say that she wanted a divorce? What would she say the behavior in you was?
For Drew, This is how neediness showed up for him.
I don't want to pathologize myself, but I feel like I have a little bit more of this avoidant personality disorder where I feel like everything she says is attacking me. So like, every little thing can blow up, and I'm so sensitive to those things. And that's because I don't have this internal confidence. So I read into every little thing.
When your wife comes to you with a complaint and you think, why am I not good enough? Why am I not good enough for her? Why am I not good enough? The problem isn't her. It's you, man. Her criticisms are only a request in disguise. So when she is complaining about that you didn't do this thing, or you didn't take the kids here, or you didn't come home early enough from work, it's not saying that you're a horrible husband or you're not good enough. She's having a request in disguise. She's saying, I would like you to be the man that I know you are. I don't want you to let me down because I know you're a high value man. That's the man I fell in love with. And every time you don't do something that is in accordance for how I want to see you, it upsets me. She wants the best for you. So instead of seeing it as nagging, see it as a request for you to be your best self. It's because she speaks indirectly. All women do. So it is vital as a husband to make her happy in a relationship to know exactly what she means when she's not saying those things. Because when you can tell her exactly what she needs and give that to her without her even asking, she feels like you know her more than anyone else. Here's an example how Drew learned this when it comes to affirmations.
Alpha, I can do it myself persona.
Yes.
And so that exterior is like, well, she doesn't say she needs me. Why am I going to go up and give her something that she doesn't say she needs?
Exactly. Yeah. And everybody needs that. Even I need that. I love affirmation and validation. Like, that's my love language. I love it when my wife tells me I'm a good husband or a good dad. Like, I need to hear that. My wife always comes off like she doesn't need that, but I call bullshit. She needs to hear that. She needs to hear that she's a good mom and a good wife and a good business owner, a good stylist. And
after Drew recognized the deeper core issue and reading his wife's internal blueprint, now it was time for him to fix the source of that leak. Now you do this by first having the correct tools. And the crazy thing is that you actually had these tools in the beginning of your relationship with her. You had all the necessary skills and attributes and character traits in order to make sure that she felt safe with you, that you were confident, that you had no anxiety around her. You possess all that in the beginning, didn't you? Let me show you what those tools were for Drew.
It shows up honestly like anytime, because my wife gets her validation and her needs met from her coworkers, her friends, her job, all these other places. I don't have those things. I used to have those things. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, I had the Brotherhood, I had my Marines, I had my job. I was on top of the world.
Let's take a second to have some brutal, harsh truth. In the beginning of the relationship, you had other aspects of your life. You weren't fully invested into just her. But over time, you wanted to be a good father, a good husband, and you wanted to be good in your career to provide. So what happened is that you fell to the default blueprint, which means you invested everything in who you are into your family and your work. And that's it. So without those things, if you were to lose your job, God forbid, if you were to, you're losing her, you're losing your sense of self as well, because you need her to feel validated, to feel enough.
So I've been so dependent on my wife to be my everything. You know what I mean? And that's been really hard on her, and I feel really bad,
This is the source of the leak. You see how this works? Your wife doesn't want to be responsible for your happiness. She wants to add to it. She wants to be in a relationship with a man that is already full himself. Let's say, for example, you are a business owner, a lot of guys I work with are, and someone came to you for a job. And when they come to you, they're like, please, I need this job. I'll do anything for it. I need you to help support me and give me all the money that you can to just help me survive. I need this job. No matter how good they were at the job, when they come to you with that neediness, it feels repulsive. It's like, yeah, okay, I can give you the job if you're skilled, but for you to need me for that, it's just too much. And that's how your wife feels in the relationship. Yes, you're not literally on your knees begging, but emotionally you have been. Now I asked Drew one simple question that really, I'll just show you what I asked him.
Why is she with you? What do you provide her with, Drew?
Yeah, that's...
and don't say anything about being a good father. I mean her. What do you provide her with?
Now to answer this question for yourself, you should not be saying the money, the home, being a good father. Those are all external things. There is something that you used to offer, that you used to give her, that every woman needs to her core. This emotional need, the deep reason why she's actually with you, not these external reasons. Once you can fully understand that based on your situation, you know exactly what to do to make sure that she is committed to you, in love with you falling for you more and more every single day, despite no matter what else is happening in your life, because you offer her that gift. Now, the way you lost that, the way there started to become cracks in that pipe that created the source of that leak in the first place, is each crack was a limiting belief about yourself, about the marriage, about the relationship. Now, unfortunately, every single guy has their own limiting beliefs based on their own personal stories of their life. There are certain beliefs. If I get on a call with you, I know within the first 5 minutes what 5 to 6 to 7 of those beliefs are. And as soon as you change those beliefs, you start clearing up that pipe, making it titanium steel. There's no more leak anymore. And she feels safe to be with you again. Now, because I don't have time to address every single limiting belief in this video, I'd be here for hours and hours and hours. To save time, to offer you the most value, I want to give you a free call. So what you can do right now, when you click the link down below, you could see an opportunity to set up a call with me and my team. Now, you must be fully committed and emotionally invested to get on that call, because we have limited spots each and every week for those calls. So if you're fully ready to learn about yourself, to take action, to save this marriage, to overcome those limiting beliefs, to fix the source of that leak, then click the link down below. Thanks for watching the video. Here's another video right here on trust that I highly suggest you watch if you are struggling with trust in your marriage as well. And I'll see you in the next one.